Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. In a number of series that we are doing where we have done about conjunctions, where we have done planets in houses, planets in signs, Darakaraka in different houses and signs, Devan Lord in different houses in the D9 horoscope, vice versa, D10 Lord in different houses and so on. One of the series that we also do is about planets when they are in mutual aspects with other planets. Not just when a planet is aspecting the other, but it is also being aspected back. In that series, we have done Sun, we have done Moon, we have done Jupiter, Saturn, and so on. And today we will be talking about the mutual aspect of Mars on the other planets. Now, because we have already done the mutual aspect of Sun on all the other planets, so we have already covered the mutual aspect of Sun versus Mars. Similarly, we have covered in the mutual aspects of Moon with other planets, we have also covered Moon with Mars. Similarly, in the Saturn video, we have also covered Saturn versus Mars, for example, and similarly for Jupiter versus Mars. So, I am not going to repeat the aspect of Mars with these 5 other entities in this video, but I will be doing the other 2 which we have not done so far, which is Mars aspect on Mercury and vice versa, and Mars aspect on Venus and vice versa. Venus and Mercury don't aspect each other with the 7th aspect because usually they are not away from each other beyond 5 houses. So 7th aspect of each other which both of them have is not possible, because at any given point of time in any horoscope you will not find them 5 or 6 houses at max away from each other, and generally at max you may find Venus 5 houses away from Mercury or vice versa. So today we will be talking about Mars mutual aspect on Mercury and Venus, and Mars aspect on the other planets like I mentioned, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn. I will be giving you the specific links to those videos where you can specifically go to that part with Jupiter's aspect with Mars and vice versa, Saturn's aspect with Mars and vice versa, Sun's aspect with Mars and vice versa, and Mars aspect with Moon and vice versa. In the comment section below, you can click on those links and go to those videos, to that specific part, and watch that video. But before we go on, a request to you is that if you are somebody who is a regular to my channel, you find my videos value adding, and if you feel that they help you answer some queries of your life, help you to uncover certain areas of your life or understand them better, then also help others to be able to access this channel, these videos, by virtue of you liking this video, sharing this video, and subscribing to my channel, because if you do that, then YouTube promotes the channel and promotes these videos further. So help others also help themselves and earn some good karma. Now let's jump right into when Mars is in a mutual aspect with the planet Mercury. Now Mars and Mercury don't share the best of friendship, the best of bonds, and so when they are in a mutual aspect with each other, which is the 7th aspect, they will have a fair degree of positivity but also some degree of inimical energies that they pass to the other. So when Mercury is aspecting Mars, what will be the result? Now, when Mercury aspects Mars and vice versa, Mars is a planet of energy, high motivation, high willpower, and Mars likes to jump into, rush into, conquer, to get the results done, to get the goal achieved. And sometimes there is less thinking on the part of the person with a strong Mars and who's going with a lot of Martian energy. Not so much time is spent on strategizing, analyzing, looking at all aspects of data, making very intelligent choices. So when Mercury aspects Mars, Mercury adds those qualities onto the person who is using these Martian energies. So rather than rush into dangers because a goal is given to somebody and without thinking, rushing into things, this person is a thinking person. This person will be looking at various data points, will still go all out to get his or her goals achieved, and with all the energy, with all the willpower, but will take some time off to also look at different avenues, different choices available where the person can be able to do better while spending less resources, spending less energy. So here this person will not only be tactical but also will be very practical, very logical, and will generally make intelligent decisions. And so this is helpful to somebody who has a lot of Martian energy to have Mercury aspects on Mars, because then that edge of practicality, logic, to think through using different data points comes into the person's logic, person's ability to get goals, person's ability to win. And so it is helpful. On the other hand, when Mars aspects Mercury, Mercury is a planet of thinking a lot, taking its time to make a choice, trying to get a perfect job done, and in that many times an overthinking person, we say paralysis by analysis, that too much analysis may not be helpful. So Mars aspect on Mercury in fact helps to hurry up the person who's going to use the Mercury energies. That hurry up, you have spent enough time to analyze. Don't paralyze yourself with over analysis. You have done enough of data crunching, you have enough of choices known, you have enough of options available to you, you have thought enough about it. Now go ahead and do it. Don't spend so much time on it. So this is an energy which helps the person, pushes the person, that go ahead and try and achieve the goal. Don't overthink and lose the opportunity. So many times over strong Mercury energies can also lead you to think twice, and that's why sometimes the Gemini guys, in overthinking, sometimes lose opportunities. So this is a good aspect of Mars on Mercury, which helps to prod the person along, to push the person along, to take both intellectual decisions, practical, logical decisions, but also decisions which are taken in time rather than lose the opportunity. So overall it's a good energy, except that if Mars is a stronger aspect on Mercury, then the person may not think enough, especially when concerned with the softer aspects of life, the emotional aspects of life, and may rush into things without thinking whether this is a practical, long-term, conceivable relationship for me, where this can go ahead and this can be stable. On the other hand, if Mercury's aspect of Mars is stronger, when Mars is weak, then the person may overthink and never make a move, because now the small energy, or even slightly less energy that Mars had to go and achieve, has been further burdened with the over analysis of Mercury. So if you have this mutual aspect, think on which side of the divide are you. Are you an overthinking person who loses opportunities, or are you one person who rushes into things and then thinks, did I do the right thing? So if you have this aspect, think again, try and keep a balance between the two, so that one does not ride roughshod over the others. And that is Mars mutual aspect with Mercury. Now when Mars and Venus are in mutual aspect with each other, this is a tough energy to be able to comprehend and to contend with. The reason being is Venus is a mushy planet about intimacy, about the softer aspects of love, affection, the material side. Mars is a go-getter, an achiever. So here, if Mars has a very strong aspect on Venus, then the achievement part comes into from a sexual perspective, intimacy oriented perspective, winning and getting into somebody's pants perspective, rather than the softer, the mushier side, the softer side, the emotional side of love and affection. So sometimes when Mars aspects Venus, the person sometimes gets into 2 or 3 relationships without thinking, or is bound by or attracted by or being seduced by the looks, the beauty, the outer charm, the outer sophistication. And when the person gets close, then after some time you seem to lose interest, because you don't find the same things as attractive. You look at the hollowness of the relationship, you may even look at the hollowness of the person. And so it's always good when Mars is aspecting Venus not to rush into any relationship, because now you are aware what Mars does when it aspects Venus, but to take your time to understand the person better before you get into relationship. Otherwise what happens is that when Mars aspects Venus and you are trying to just get into somebody's fan, or just get into an intimate act, like a win over somebody, and then what happens is later on you may hurt the other person, because the other person may not be thinking on your lines. Or if you emotionally get entangled with the person and you have rushed into the relationship and now you find many things amiss, it's very difficult for you to get yourself out of the relationship. And many times the person may lose interest very quickly and lose the relationship, lose the person, only to later on regret when you see the person already with somebody else, that you rush into the relationship very soon without thinking, but also rushed out of the relationship, doing a lot of damage both to the other person and to yourself also. But this is also a good perspective from a material side, where Mars helps you to get more material edge over others and material resources. So as long as love, relations, emotions are not damaged and you are careful about them, this may help you to achieve on a material side, where when you take a decision, you also take a decision thinking what's in it for me, rather than looking only from an emotional perspective. And this helps in a professional side, this helps in a partnership which is not involving the love partnership, external partnership, external relationship with others, dealings, business dealings. This is a much better mutual aspect than in a relationship. Now when Venus aspects Mars, Venus will create a situation where the person is also looking at the softer aspects or thinking again before rushing into things. However, then the person is not thinking more materialistically. Mars is a general who fights for the king, fights for the soul. So the goal is important, not so much about the material aspects. So it is like, I landed a good job at a good brand, that is enough for me. Or I landed a good work in an NGO or for a social cause which really appeals to me, that is good enough for me. But when Venus aspects Mars, the goal is not important enough. While the goal is important, what is in it for me? Did I achieve? The material side is also important. So when a job is offered through a big brand, you're also looking at, yeah, the brand is very good, it's a good company, but are they paying me well? Are they giving me the right designation? Are they giving me the right role? So this thinking aspect, the material aspects also comes into the decision making. So this is both a tactical but also practical presence of mind that the person has, yet the person is only thinking from a material perspective. So here, if you have Mars and Venus aspect on each other, especially with Venus's influence on Mars, one has to be a little careful not to overthink materialistically, but also look at the other side, the value add side, the less tangible side, but the qualitative side rather than just the quantitative side, so that you can then benefit in the long run rather than losing out because you are thinking only from a tactical point of view or only from the material point of view. So overall, a good mutual aspect to have, as long as you use it to your advantage without harming anyone, without damaging your chances, and balancing these energies between material possession, the softer emotional side of life, and goal achievement also. Now when Mars and Rahu mutually aspect with each other, this is an aspect which is not possible because Rahu does not have a seventh aspect. However, when Mars aspects Rahu and Rahu's aspect on Mars is weak, here Mars lends a lot of energy to Rahu to be able to go and achieve, even trying to achieve for others rather than for self, because Mars is the general who fights for the king, who fights for the soul. Rahu thinks for self. There is a lot of greed and hunger to be able to do for self. And Rahu is somebody who looks at various perspectives and this has a manipulative energy. Mars on the other hand, because it is aspecting Rahu while it is placed with Ketu, also brings in some selflessness, where the person is saying that okay, the greed and hunger may be there, but for achievement for others. Maybe I am trying to achieve for family, maybe I am achieving for my organization, maybe I am achieving for my team. However, here there is a lot of strong willpower which also comes in, a lot of strategic intent also comes in, even selfless intent comes in when Mars is aspecting Rahu. So it's a good placement to go and achieve things even for others, because remember Mars is placed with Ketu, there is some sort of self-sacrifice also involved in, doing for others also involved in. Good energy to use, except that the greed or hunger should not be so much for others that you self-sacrifice yourself completely. There should also be some component in hunger and greed for self. And if there are Mars aspect of Rahu is very very strong, and if there are malefics involved, then this person can do anything to be able to achieve at any cost, and that's where the Mars aspect on Rahu can be damaging. So if your Mars aspect on Rahu, be a little careful that you don't overindulge or overdo either for others or for self, but try and keep a balance between how much hunger and greed you have for the goal to be achieved and what is the overall reason that you're doing or trying to achieve the goal, rather than just achievement for the sake of achievement. And if you're able to do that, then this is a very good placement when Mars aspect Rahu, especially when it's connected to your professional life, connected to your career, connected to your projects, connected to the outer side of life rather than on the personal side. But remember that Mars here is with Ketu, so this is not an easy energy to contend with. Now when Mars aspects Ketu, which means that Ketu is not able to aspect Mars with the same energy, and now Mars is placed with Rahu, which is an Angakaraka dosha. But what does Mars do when it is aspecting Ketu? Ketu is a planet of negation, of giving up, but now Mars is giving energy to Ketu. So here the giving up is for a certain cause. It is not a disinterested person who is not interested in chasing materialism, chasing professional success, chasing a love life, or looking at a stronger partnership basis where Ketu is placed in your horoscope. But here the giving up is for a cause. The person believes in a certain cause and so is ready to go the extra mile to do for others. This is a person who thinks, okay, when I do things for a cause, I will look into why I'm relinquishing things, why I'm giving up, why am I ready to forego what I am getting but trying to do for others, what is the larger cause that I am doing. So this is very cause oriented perspective that the person has when Mars aspects Ketu. This person thinks through what is the goal I want to achieve, who I want to achieve, why I want to achieve, and to the extent that I should be able to give up. And this person goes about in a very planned manner, in a very tactical manner, and with a lot of energy to be able to do larger things, lot of things which are for a greater cause. So it's a good placement where you can have a good legacy, where a lot can be done, where it's less for you but bigger for a larger cause than yourself. So if you have Mars aspect on Ketu, wherever Ketu is placed, be a little careful of not giving up too much in the perspective of that house, in the areas of that house, because you may end up losing too much at your cost. And that is the aspect of Mars on the planet Ketu in the horoscope. Now for Mars aspect on Ketu and Rahu, looking at the other results of Mars conjunction with Rahu or Mars conjunction with Ketu, I've already done Mars conjunction with all the other planets. Do look at that video. I will also try and give you a link in the comment section below. And if you have Mars aspect with any planet, this is a tough placement with some, it is a gain making placement with some, especially where Jupiter is concerned, Moon is concerned, Sun is concerned, but slightly tougher where Saturn is concerned, where Venus or Mercury is concerned. So do look into the placements more intimately, understand them more intricately, and do a balance between how much you do for others and what you do for yourself. Do a balance between how much you rush into things for goal achievement and how much you are well planned, thought through, thinking before you make a move, because then Mars aspect with another planet can give you a lot of achievement, give you a lot of resources that you can win. But sometimes there is a lot to be lost on the personal side. Just keep a note of that. So friends, like this video, share this, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link given below. Till some other time with some other video. This is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.